Are you ready?
Ready to rumble. I mixed those two together.
You did.
So,
yeah, those were two different ones.
I had to put
Good
the tail
afternoon,
end
good
on
evening, and good night. This is Race.
What's going on, everybody? It's Reed of Apes.
We are MixedApez. This is You Should Know This Song.
Isn't it hard to say apes and make it come across right? Like
Not at all.
You don't get the Z because you say apes, but you can't really say apes and make it effective.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me get that out there, folks.
And there goes we're going to get off to a quick start button. All right, so we are back. We have some new and improved, how about that? New and improved segments for you. Actually, we've done them all before. They're none of them new, but they're all improved, hopefully.
A couple of them are kind of new, but yeah, we're going to do Route 66 in this APEisode. And if, again, as I've said just in the recent past, if you're not familiar with the Route 66 format, just hang in there and you'll figure it out.
Absolutely. We will also address our prime segment, where that's the meat of what we do, if you will.
Yes, the prime cut, as it were. And then we'll do Tune That Name, which is a relatively new thing for us that we're starting to have some fun with. So what do you say we thank everybody and just
Thanks,
get into
everybody.
It? Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate you being here.
Glad to
Come
have
on
you.
in with us.
Yeah.
This is You Should Know This Song, where we sit around
and bullshit about music,
run our mouths,
and get stuff wrong.
Music and lyrics and commentary. And so
and
let us know what you think.
To reference something you said earlier, is you are MixedApez, and I'm not talking to the ugly guy across the table from me. I'm talking to you that are listening. You are MixedApez. We are MixedApez. You are MixedApez.
You are MixedApez by default because you're listening. So
absolutely.
Right. Go ahead, try to wash it off. You can't. Okay, Route 66
I think we should go right to that. What do you think?
Coming right at you. So strap in. Oh, that's a good, seatbelt.
Strap in.
Get it.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to start this one?
I'm gonna get started here.
And very briefly, you reference a song that has place names in it. I have to come up with the place names. That's what we're shooting for,
this
right?
This is verbal delivery. Okay, so what I got for you, you should be able to figure out the map to this song looking out my back door.
That would be CCR.
Uh-huh.
Just got home from Illinois.
Yeah, there
so we got
it is.
Illinois. Is there more in there?
Yeah, I didn't find more in there. Yeah.
No, I'm going to say
Just
that's the one.
From, right.
So that's a win, right? So we started off with the
it's
win.
A winner. It's a winner for
Yay!
Race. Woo! That was John Fogerty with Creedence Clearwater Revival, written by John Fogerty, 1970, off the album Cosmos Factory.
Okay, I got one for you. Back in the USSR.
Oh, wow.
By the Beatles. Yeah.
Woo. Okay, Back in the USSR. Wow. So, Ukraine.
That's one.
That's Beatles, obviously, Back in the USSR. Ukraine, Moscow.
One more. You got two, that counts. But
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to, it'll take too long.
You've started doing that yeah thing that I do all the time. We don't both
Yeah.
that. Leonard McCartney, 1968, the album was the Beatles. The American release, the U.S. release was called the Beatles. Moscow, Ukraine, and Georgia, state of Georgia.
Yes, Georgia.
I don't believe it's called a state in the USSR.
Right.
Good call there.
Okay, that makes it me, right?
That's you. What do you got, brother?
How about if you give me some locations named in the song Uneasy Rider by Charlie Daniels Band?
Let's see. Well, at the very least, he says Omaha at the end of it. I think if anybody think I'd flipped it, I went to L.A. via Omaha.
Via Omaha,
so
right?
Omaha
That's
and
one.
L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm trying to listen to the song and I don't want to take the time.
It's like you got to listen to
the lyrics.
Verse by verse and listen to the lyrics. Mississippi's mentioned in there, Antioch, which is a town in
Mississippi.
And then Arkansas is also mentioned in Uneasy Rider. And that is just, if you don't know Uneasy Rider.
Oh, that's a fun listen.
Such a fun song. Such a cool, creative writing. Charlie Daniels wrote that himself, 1973. Off of the Uneasy Rider album. So now you tell me where I got to map one of yours to.
All right, so you should be able to give me some locations from Never Been to Spain.
Never Been to Spain.
That's Three Dog Night. They didn't write it, but that's Three Dog Night song.
I am not.
Well, I've never been to Spain, but I kind of like the music. Nothing?
Nothing's coming.
Wow.
I'm not getting anything
from that. They say the
that.
ladies are insane there, and they sure know
I bet
how
they
to
mentioned
use
Spain.
Only
Barcelona?
No, that's it. That's the only Spanish reference in the song.
Oh, really?
England, Las Vegas, Needles, Oklahoma, Arizona. It's a Hoyt Axton tune.
Oh, yeah. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, and both the Hoyt Axton album, called Joy to the World, oddly enough, and the Three Dog Night album, called Harmony, both came out in 1971. I'm surprised you don't know that, and you know that song. Like
maybe, yeah.
You absolutely know that song.
I'm trying to get the melody. It's not coming into my head. Not helping. Okay, well, that was a bummer for me.
It was, but it was
and
fun
I
for
love
me.
some Three Dog Night. Grew up with it in my, childhood. Watched the Three Dog Night variety show and all that when I was a kid. That was some TV.
And there was some good. That was all good time music. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay. I don't think they wrote a lot. I think almost all their stuff was covers.
One of the references for this Route 66 challenge is in the title, but there are two others that I think you'll get. So you should know where the locations are for this song, Mississippi Queen.
Vicksburg.
Yeah.
You got to say Vicksburg. Yeah. Down Louisiana way.
Louisiana, that's right. Lived a Cajun lady.
Yeah, I think that's all the ones.
Those are the only two references in the song.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Mountain, Leslie West and Felix Pappalardi, along with David Ray and Lawrence Lang, wrote that.
Isn't that the band that the father and stepson, or the son and stepfather were in the band? They were the only real rock and roll band to have active father and
stepson in the band.
Yeah,
that's some lore. I gotta go look
them.
up.
I'm pretty sure that's them.
Yeah, I gotta go look that up.
Please, if I'm wrong, smack me in the head. Somebody tell me.
That would be cool to hear the audience chime in on that one.
Absolutely.
And I'll be racing to a wiki page to check that out. And since your name is Race, you should race to a wiki page also.
I've never heard a
race. You probably had never had a race
At
reference.
65, I've never had
That's
anyone.
That's the first one I've used
today.
I know.
Yeah. Yes. All right.
in this episode. That was from 1970 off of the album Climbing by Mountain, and what a great album. Anyway,
what a great band. They really were a great band.
They really made some very cool music.
Okay, you should know the locations, all of them, in the song Katmandu by Bob Seger.
Oh my gosh. Well, East Coast, New York City. I could keep going. I'm going to have to play the song in my head.
I'd rather you didn't.
Give me some more.
West Coast.
Southern
states. Midwest.
Yeah, but
he covers
USA. He says USA also.
Yeah. But I mean, again.
Oh, I thought he named a couple other particular states or cities.
He particularly names New York City, Katmandu, and the USA. The rest of it is region.
Okay, I got you.
Because he's kind of, covering the whole country.
Right.
That was Bob Seger, written by Bob Seger, released on the beautiful Loser album, 1975. The tune is Katmandu, another really good time song.
It was with the Silver Bullet Band, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yes, and it also showed up on Live Bullet, the live compilation.
Yes.
I didn't. I guess I should have mentioned the Silver Bullet Band. That is the actual. That is the actual name of the band.
Yeah, that is the actual full name of the organization that at the time put that out. And again, back to the Live Bullet album. Wow. So that's all I'll say.
What do you got, man?
Okay, you should be able to map to. Man, I really hope you can get this and you know this song. The song Eurotrash Girl by Cracker. If it rings a bell.
Oh, man.
It's a cool, new wave, alternative
I'm having
rock
a hard time actually
song.
pulling the lyrics up in my brain.
Yeah.
The DJ is taking a break when I need him the most.
Right.
Looking at time, I'm going to say, why don't you tell me what we got?
So it's got Paris and Barcelona and Athens and a Swiss junkie in Turin ripped me off for my cash. Amsterdam and Berlin are named in that song.
So pretty much all of the capitals of Europe are represented
all
there,
the capitals
largely,
of
right?
Europe are
or most of them.
That song is so enjoyable. Just such a great song. That's Cracker, written by David Allen Farraher, David Lowry, John Hickman, and Joey Peters from 1993 off of the seminal and awesome album Kerosene Hat, which has a lot of really cool music on it. So
early Cracker's a lot of fun.
I miss Cracker. Okay, what do you got?
I'm going to make you I'm going to make you jump in the Wayback Machine and tell me the locations that are referenced in the song Marrakesh Express by Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Oh, my gosh. Don't you know we're riding on a Marrakesh Express, taking me to Marrakesh. I'm saving all my money just to get you there.
Very good.
I have to go through the lyrics. This is what you did with that one. I have to go through the song line by line to pull even one out. I can't even pull one out.
Okay, so you're taking the train to Casablanca going south. And then he mentions clear Moroccan skies, so I'm taking that as Morocco.
Sure.
Okay. And those are the three references that I'm familiar with on that. That was CSN, or Crosby, Stills, and Nash, as they're known, written by Graham Nash, 1969, on the Crosby, Stills, and Nash album.
Right.
Not the CSN album, which was a different album a few years later.
Those guys making it difficult all the time, making it difficult.
Yeah. All those letters and stuff.
And then adding the young on the end and taking it away, and people just can't keep up.
Did I ever tell you that on that Crosby, Stills, and Nash album, I think it's that album, there's the three guys sitting on the couch outside on a porch. And there's a fourth guy behind the screen door.
Uh-huh.
And I always thought that was Neil Young, and it's not. It's like Maury Moldauer, maybe somebody else, another musician in the band.
Right.
But it's not the fourth guy that you would think it would be.
Who is on the nameplate, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got one more.
By the way, the opening line of Marrakesh Express, looking at the world through the sunset in your eyes.
Yeah.
That's some poetry right there, baby.
Right there.
All right, go ahead.
I smell the garden in your hair. This would be my last one, just for information's sake.
Sure.
So enjoy it and get everything you can out of it.
What do you got?
How about you should know locations named in the song Hell on Wheels by Wings?
Yeah, I'm going to have to play it in my head.
This is fun.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I mean, it really is, because I'm playing these songs in my head. I can hear you playing them in your head.
Yeah.
And I would bet that people out there
are doing the same thing.
Podcast land are...
Yeah, all three of those guys.
Like some of the other clues we give on some of the other segments, I'm sure people are, when we don't get them, people are like, yeah, got it right here. Just say it. Say it. This, I bet a lot of people are doing the same thing that we're doing.
I can hear the song, Make This Journey Last, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I'm not going to play the song while the whole audience waits. Tell me what we got.
Glasgow, Carlisle City, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London are all named through
Thank you.
Hell on Wheels.
And what are the spectaculars on that?
Such a cool song, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of fun.
That was written by Linda and Paul McCartney, 1973, from the Band on the Run album, which all the way through. Yeah. And
by the way, I guess all of the albums we listen to are great all the way through.
All the way through. Every album we listen to is great all the way through.
Yep.
We're suckers. We just like it all, right?
All right. So I have, the next one I have is one that you'll definitely know. So I'm going to skip it.
That doesn't seem fair. You should give me two then, since just one last one.
But I have, I was going to give you something from Steely Dan.
Okay,
but you'll jump all over that.
You know how it is.
But I'm going to actually go to one that's
still got to work your way through the lyrics.
More fun. You should know all of the states and places in The South's Gonna Do It Again by the Charlie Daniels Band.
Oh my gosh!
And there's a bunch.
Yeah, there are. I can just start naming states. I don't even have to think about Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee. Kentucky.
Well, two of those so far. Georgia and Tennessee are there.
Mississippi.
Nope.
I thought Mississippi was... No, I guess not. Yeah, it's another one where I'm going to have to play the song through my head.
The others are... He mentions Carolina, the state Florida, and then specifically Jacksonville. Because old Leonard Skinner's picking down in Jacksonville. Man, that's a fun song.
Yeah, it is.
I love that song. And I'm not a huge... this probably isn't even really accurate, but I'm not a huge Southern rock guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Allman Brothers. Actually, I'm a huge Southern rock guy. I'm just thinking through going here. I'm trying to think of the song.
You didn't
the band.
think so, but yeah.
I mean, the more that I think about it, the more that it's there. And like the songs, and I'm not even really a big Skinner fan, but like The Breeze, that's a great tune.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And
I actually was thinking. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say there's a bunch of Charlie Daniels. My wife loves some Marshall Tucker, which is kind of unusual because that's not her vein.
Yeah, Marshall
at all.
Tucker is real. Although Marshall Tucker had some...
they're great. It's a great
some
band.
Southern
it's just
jazz
not the kind of stuff that Donna
in
is definitely genuinely
right,
into.
Right.
But like, it's come up more than once where like something will come up on the radio and she's like, "Oh, turn this one up," and I'm like, "That's kind of surprising to me."
Weird of you to want to turn that up,
just because it's not in her.
Yeah, I grew up with. the older brothers that I reference with some regularity, listening to Marshall Tucker. My dad was a big Charlie Daniels fan.
Really?
And he liked a lot of Marshall Tucker too, but the brothers listened to Charlie Daniels. They listened to the Allman Brothers, Molly Hatchet, Skynyrd, certainly. And the other day I was researching a Skynyrd tune for a clue, and I just completely had I don't want to use the word revelation. I don't know what to call it. My mind got flooded with all of the Skynyrd songs that I know, and all the Skynyrd songs that were in the album collection on the living room floor in the Peach Crate that were played over and over, and all the great Skynyrd songs. Really, the Southern rock thing aside, the music, the guitar riffs and the playing and the hooks.
The thing is that there's those 4 or 5 tunes that were played so constantly on the radio,
right?
That you have to get past those 4 or 5. And I think
Absolutely.
That's kind of what I was beginning to say when I was I'm not really a big Southern rock guy. Is there are a couple of those bands that they had 2 or 3 songs that were so ubiquitous.
Right, they were all over the radio, and
that was all you ever really heard for a long time.
Right, and you had a tendency to kind of dismiss them because they're
exactly.
They're a Southern
but there's
rock band.
so much more depth if you stop and think about it. You know?
Like the Marshall Tucker thing. There, as just came back to mind, Marshall Tucker had some cool, jazz
stuff.
Jazz. I mean, it was really
jazz
direction stuff. Like we've referenced the Allman Brothers. Stuff before
very
too.
Strong jazz influence.
And
by the way, we mentioned it in a previous episode, but it's still fresh. What a shame to lose Dickie Betts.
Related to a lot of this.
You mentioned your brothers here, and I'm going to bring mine in, and that was definitely an area that he did not get into.
Oh, okay.
He was not a Southern rock guy at all.
Right.
And I mean, I remember him having the first Molly Hatchet album, but I bet you he didn't have a Skynyrd album. I bet you he didn't have a Marshall Tucker album.
Really?
I bet you he didn't have a Charlie Daniels album. He was definitely back in the 70s, what we would have called hard rock, okay?
Right.
Deep Purple, Zeppelin, and then he went off into some jazz and some other stuff, and he certainly, he was a fan of Foreigner when they came out. He was a Montrose fan, that kind of stuff. It had to be pretty much guitar-oriented rock for him.
Well, and the Molly Hatchet thing was more...
guitar-oriented
right, it was
rock.
a more aggressive rock, Southern rock.
Right.
As far as I remember, most of their stuff being
Yeah. Anyway, a little digression there. That brings us to the end, right?
That's the end of the 66 segment we call Route 66.
You can't really go to the end of Route 66 on the West Coast. You can, but on the East, it doesn't really end. It kind of just fades out, right?
Tell me something. How tempted have you been to actually just use the song Route 66?
I've thought about it every time.
Every time.
But now that's one that you don't need to play it through your head. You know them all there.
Right, you're going to know it. So, I think that brings us to the end of the segment, right? That's the end of Route 66.
The end of the segment.
So, we're moving on to Prime, I think, is our next
The primest
next bit.
of the primes.
Yes, Prime Cuts.
I think that's the guy, right?
Coming up.
I'm ready.
Let's just jump on in.
Sure. I believe it's your turn.
As the urge would say, jump right in.
Start.
It is my turn to start.
Or as Montrose would say, jump on it.
Jump on it. I will jump on it.
Don't let it jump on you.
I think...
Do you remember that album cover?
Do I? The Jump On It album cover?
Yeah, it was the bottom half of a woman in her bikini bottoms, essentially at full frame.
No.
Yeah, it was pretty provocative for the time.
Why don't I remember that? I know we had that album.
Yeah.
I probably had a tape that somebody made for me, a cassette that somebody made for me.
Absolutely.
Okay, to get started with Prime, we are delivering our challenges via text, and I'm getting ready to send Race this You Should Know. You should know this song.
You take the staircase to the first floor, turn the key, and slowly unlock the door. Oh, give me more.
It's right there, isn't it? Can you kind of hear it boiling up in the background? Okay, second clue.
As a man breathes into a saxophone and through the walls you hear the city groan. Man, those are some great lyrics, and I don't know what they go to.
That is... You sure? Are you hearing it at all?
I'm not. It's not. I mean, it's tinkling something, but it's not there.
That is "Bullet the Blue Sky" by U2.
There you go.
Yeah. And yeah, great lyrics.
Which is why I knew it, but didn't know it.
There's no shortage of great lyrics with
Although
U2,
I love
of course,
your spelling of saxophone.
Yeah, I misspelled a couple things in there, but let's not get distracted from the fact that you didn't guess that one.
I was trying, man. I was trying to move us off sideways there.
Bullet the Blue Sky, that song is so fantastic. U2, of course, 1987, off of the Joshua Tree. You know, you're going to say it again if you say anything about the Joshua Tree. We're going to say that thing we keep saying about albums.
I'll have to take your word for that. I don't know the album end to end.
Oh.
I know the hits.
Yeah, no, the album is flawless. Like it's just like a flawless piece of work. Yeah,
flawless. That's a statement.
It's really
Reed is certainly
great.
Qualified to know.
That was written by Adam Clayton, Dave Evans, Larry Mullen, and Paul David Hewson. So
the
whole band, right? Bullet the Blue Sky. Now it's time for you to see if
you should know this song.
So the lyric is, "My baby wakes in the deep of night." That's not ringing a bell. My baby wakes in the deep of night. She doesn't need it, but she says it's all right.
This is an area that you have some familiarity with.
She doesn't need it. My baby wakes. Is this like a boogie woogie tempo song?
No, it's a rock and roll song.
It's not ringing a bell. It's really not coming to me at all.
This is Pete Townsend and Ronnie Lane. My Baby Gives It Away.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah, I know you do.
Oh, that's hilarious. Wow. Pete Townsend and Ronnie Lane.
And Pete Townsend was the lyricist on that, although together they wrote the song.
Right.
1977, rough mix, and a rough start.
Rough start for the two of us. Let's see if we can do a little better than that. I was just going to
lay it at your feet.
But I want to go back and listen to that song. I haven't heard that song in a coon's age. In a coon's age, I tell you.
Coon's age. Okay, I know you're old, but don't talk like you're old.
No. That's something I derived from a very respectable elder in my family. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm going to say I'm ready, but probably my behavior will, my performance will.
Let's see.
Bear that out. Not quite bear that out.
Here we go. You should know this song.
Breathlessly, I await the moment to surround you. Do not fear the song that makes you sing. I have no idea what this is.
Huh. Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. I don't know. I thought I think you know the
next lyric.
I think you know this band. Okay, let's check this out. Maybe this will give it away.
It'll offer you wings to fly away, but do not expect to land if you can't stay. I don't know what this is.
No. That's a shame. I was hoping it'd pop into your head because this is a song that puts a smile on my face. I think you aren't terribly familiar with POCO, but it's POCO's song called "You Better Think Twice."
I know the band. I don't know that I know the song. I'm not surprised that you told me that because the lyrics are kind of right up there.
Yeah, Jim Messina wrote the song. It's from 1971 off of the album POCO. And I would urge you to go back and listen to the song because of the lyrical content is very cool throughout it.
Sure.
It's obviously a love song.
Right.
But the music, the playing and the sort of jazziness of the music and the bluegrassy inclusion in there. This song stands out like in my head in those ways. The bass line is crazy.
And the song's called?
And it's called You Better Think Twice.
Okay. I'll have to go and give that a listen.
It's really got a cool tempo and all that, but the anyway, I wish I could just anybody out there who knows the song knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like it will change your mood for the day. You're totally tapping, and also
give it a listen.
If you listen past the melody is very pleasing, whatever. If you listen past that and listen to the playing, oh my gosh, it's really, really exceptional.
Really?
Yeah.
We covered the specifics on it already. You got all that year and everything.
I did.
Cool. I don't know why I never seem to catch that. It's because I don't listen to you.
I mix it into the blabbering.
There you go. You should know this song.
Okay, what I've got for a challenge is we got the bubble-headed bleach blonde comes on at 5. This is hilarious because I almost put this song in here.
Really?
Yeah. Dirty Laundry, Don Henley.
Yep.
Yeah. She could tell you about the plane crash with a gleam in her eye. I think I could recite every word to this song.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
They're very memorable lyrics in the first place.
Yep.
And the tune and the phrasing and all that. But I listened to this album quite a bit. Isn't that Boys of Summer? What was the album?
I believe so. I Can't Stand Still, and that can't be right. I must have pasted something.
No. I saw that. You're right. It's I Can't Stand Still.
Is that correct?
I think Boys of Summer was on it, but Can't Stand Still is the name of the album. I did see that.
The artist was Don Henley, written by Don Henley and Danny Korchmer, 1982. Lots of Don Henley in that era was pretty big.
That's another one of those songs that I had a mental conflict listening to, because the beginning of it is so cool and to me is a little bit so wrong. They did. I talked about this with another song. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but in a recent episode, the beginning goes da 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 for the longest time, right? Like it's a longer lead in than
song almost.
Right. And I'm like, how are they getting away with this? It's catchy as crap. Like, I'm enjoying listening to it.
Right.
But there's a part of my brain that's like, what's coming? What's coming? But there's a part of my brain that's like, that is a cool tone on the keyboard.
And there's some pretty cool guitar work in that song.
Yeah.
But the kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down.
Like
that goes on way too long.
Way too long, right?
Way too long. I do like the song, but
I love it.
It's one of those songs that needs an editor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, who the fuck am I to talk? Don Henley,
right.
Right. Hey, schmuck, I got all my monies and all my fames and all that.
And I got
right?
Grammys and
exactly.
And gold and platinum albums and whatever.
Cool.
And a fingerprint on the Walk of Fame.
What
okay,
so
that was fun, and one of us got one.
Ooh, that's amazing.
How about that? Okay, here you go. Chew on this, boy. I hope you get this one because
I hope I get one
because it's such a great song and it has a lot of. I don't know why, but I'm excited about it. You should know this song.
Back when Cain was able, way before the stable. Give me another lyric. Lightning shot down from the sky. A mothership with fate said, let's give it a try. Wow. Why don't I know this?
Man, he was created.
What is this?
It's Adam's Apple by Aerosmith.
Yeah, no, I can't claim to know that.
No?
No, but I like the lyrics.
Holy cow. Yeah, I thought that's off of Toys in the Attic.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, like that album was on the turntable at my girlfriend's house when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Like all the time. It was definitely, but it may have been, you remember those days, listen to the album, you listen to side one.
I don't really remember those days, but
we're going to skip the first song. We're going to play the next two songs on side one. We're going to go over and listen to the last song on side two. If it didn't catch you on the way in when you got the album or somebody didn't turn you on to it, you could easily have missed something on an album.
Sure, easily, yeah. That was a well-worn album for me, and still, there's so many good songs on that album. And that song, and a couple others, if you haven't listened to Toys in the Attic in a while, that album holds up. Yeah, even the song Toys in the Attic, it's such a great song and such a sort of rocking tune, but the album is just filled.
And you had referenced earlier Joe Perry's great guitar hooks. I mean,
my gosh. Listen through that. Even if all you do is start a bunch of Aerosmith songs and not listen to them, listen through the catalog. The guy has so many cool riffs. I mean, he just comes up with some great stuff. And that's for 40
years
plus years.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about that.
He just keeps making cool guitar riffs.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And side projects too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Joe Perry Project, for one.
Right, Joe Perry Project. Anyway, we could go on. Okay.
We certainly could. Okay.
And we do.
And we do. I have one here for you. You should definitely know this song. This is right in your wheelhouse.
Okay, what he gave me was, I would like to reach out my hand. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the second lyric. I may see you. I may tell you to run. Oh, what is this? The phrasing.
You know this one.
I do know it. I got to get the phrasing. It's Send Me On My Way.
That's it.
By no, I can't think of the name of the band. Doggone. I can see the cover. We have this.
You've sent me these songs from this band before, from this album before.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the
Rusted
band.
Root.
Rusted Root. There you go.
It actually shows up on two different albums in the references that I got. Cruel Sun and When I Woke. I don't know if that was different release names in different countries, more than one album that it was released on. Some bands do that, right?
I remember the song Cruel Sun. I had the CD, and it was When I Woke was the name of the CD.
It might have been released under different names in different locations.
Yeah.
The songwriters, and there's a bunch of them, Michael, and please excuse me if I mispronounce here, Michael Glebicki, Liz Berlin, John Bunyak, Jim DeSpirito, Jim Donovan, Patrick Norman, Jennifer Wirtz. And my thought for this, when I heard it the other day, when it popped on the radio and popped into my head, and I know the song, right? I mean, it's been...
Sure.
Was, it sounds like someone trying to be Talking Heads.
Huh.
You know, like the kind of the way he sings, the disjointed lyrics a little bit.
Yeah, I can see what you're...
fluctuations in tone or timbre as he goes up and down. Yeah. And musically, it's got a very Talking Heads feel. Yeah. You know?
It's one of Talking Heads sounds. Because to me, Talking Heads...
is there's a bunch, right.
Well, part of the reason that they were so great is because they were able to put on some different clothes and, sound like a different band convincingly. Like
regularly.
Right. Do it well. Yeah, that's a funny... I had never thought of that before, but you're right. It does... Like you think of Once in a Lifetime.
Yeah.
Kind of as a reference, I would think.
Sure. And, contrast that to Burning Down the House. Whole different band, right? Okay, so we covered all the specifics on that. I think this is your last one, and then I have one to follow.
Right. Okay. Let's see what you think about this, and you should know this song.
Light rain is over, the sun's all around. Give me more. You should just by default give me 2 every time.
This is a little bit of a reach back, but not too much.
4-leaf clover as I pull you down. Okay. Nothing.
Man, when this one ticks you, you're going to be so mad you didn't think of it.
I already feel stupid. I mean, I've missed most of them, right?
It's not. Anyway, I won't go into too much about it, but it'll tick for you. The song is called "The Stake." In parens, like the way I do by Steve Miller. Nobody loves you like the way I do. Yeah,
great boogie tune.
Yeah, it's a great song.
I was rabbit holing on some Stevie Miller actually this morning before you came over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just kind of, I had a lyric clue I wanted to look up, and then it was like, oh, what about, oh, man, oh, do you remember? Oh, and I'm not talking to anybody when I'm doing that. I'm sitting at my desk by myself. Oh, man, like talking out loud.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely got into, and
what a great song.
There was a reason they called him Stevie Guitar Miller. He could play.
Oh, my gosh,
yeah. And I think he's doing that, he's one of the alternate guests on a tour this summer.
With Willie Nelson and Friends?
No, it's I thought it was Styx and Journey.
That was gonna be weird. Oh yeah, you talked about that.
And then there was the third act was coming in and
sort
out,
of rotating through the tour.
Right. He was one of the rotators.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Rotator.
He's gonna be a rotator.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah,
speaks good Englishes.
The guitar hook, you know what I mean? Yeah, so great.
And he sings along with the guitar notes, which is always a cool little.
Very cool. That song was actually written by David Denny. Don't know. I didn't look any further into that, but I was surprised that it wasn't Steve Miller's song. 1977 off of Book of Dreams. Do you want to say what we say about albums like that?
Good end to end? Yeah. That should just, just record that and drop it in at the end of every one,
just plug it in, another end-to-end album.
All right, so I've got one here that I know you know. You may not be able to come up with the name of the band, but I know you know this song. We've actually talked about it before, but it's
so set up for making an idiot
not at
of
all,
myself.
man. I'm not. I wouldn't do
the
that.
Pressure. I'm having a breakdown.
You should. I'm going to change the name. You know this song.
You know this song. Okay, the song is I want a doctor to take your picture so I can look at you from inside as well. That is, I do know this song.
I knew you would.
Hooray! Turning Japanese.
Yes,
and the name of the band is oh my gosh, it was there and it's gone. Turning Japanese by that's a classic new wave.
Oh yeah,
song. I can't get the band name.
The name of the band is The Vapors.
The Vapors, that's right, The Vapors.
And you may not remember, but this was actually one of our very first clues when we were doing testing, long before we actually recorded anything. I do. We were just kind of playing the game, but in this format, like with computers and stuff.
Right.
And I thought it's been long enough, because that was 8-10 months ago, whatever.
Right, bring it back in.
Written by Dave Fenton, 1980 was the year. The album was Clear Days. And apparently, and I don't remember, this was in my original notes, it was originally intended as a love song, an angsty teenager pining over a pic of his girl.
Huh.
So it wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? It was like some 16-year-old going, oh, I want to know you in so many ways, kind of a thing. So anyway, that's how we're wrapping up this segment of
Prime Cuts. Prime Cuts. That's what we just did. So now, if you didn't know what Prime Cuts was all about when you started listening to the show, you know
probably
what it's
still
about
have no
now.
idea because we can't.
Oh, come on. We are clear as crystal around here, Bone.
Yeah, and did we actually, did I actually get one in that entire segment? I don't think I did, quite frankly. And, I'm okay with that.
I'm not going to look back, but I think you did.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Because you're that good.
You're a hell of a guy. It has not been a stellar day for me, clue-wise.
Well, we'll see if we can fix that with our next segment. The game is Twist and Shout. It's Prime Twist and Shout. So,
and the format is?
We are going to name a song.
And the other guy has to come up with the lyrics.
To come up with some lyrics that are not the title of the song.
Right. Okay.
Right. So,
I think I can figure that out. We've done this before. It's not my first rodeo.
Right. So this is verbally delivered.
Yes, sir.
And I went first, didn't I?
You did on the last one, so I'm going to go first.
So you're up to bat, and don't make an idiot of yourself. Make me proud.
All right. You should know lyrics to "The Zoo" by Scorpions.
Holy smokes! You are going to crack. You're going to crack up. We're in the night. We drink the. We make our dreams come true. I can't think of the next line. Hungry eyes. What is it? Is that? Am I on the right track there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I haven't
starts
thought of
out. We're on the streets. I think, doesn't it? Yeah.
I remember walk down to 42nd Street.
Mm-hmm.
It's pieces are coming into
but
mind. I haven't heard it in a long time.
You got some there, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say you got that one.
42nd Street. The Klaus Meine phrasing
is,
because of the accent, is so enjoyable, so entertaining.
It's my understanding that they initially, and I think I may have mentioned this before, did not speak English, and that originally, in the very beginning, it was all given to them phonetically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there were some Germans that were really, really unhappy about that because it's like, why aren't they doing this in German? They're Germans. And then, of course, over the course of time, being touring and so forth.
Right.
English being the language of commerce, if you will.
Right.
Because I've seen some stuff where Klaus Meine doesn't seem to have any problem talking to the crowd now.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So anyway, The Zoo, Scorpions, 1980s, Animal Magnetism. I'm going to say you got that one. How's that? Because you got that one.
Okay,
you got bits and pieces of it.
Well, here's the reason that this is going to crack you up, because my first shot for you on my list here is There's No One Like You. You should know some lyrics to There's No One Like You from the Scorpions.
Oh.
That is a crack up.
Girl, it's been a long time since we've been apart.
Yeah.
Long too long for a man who needs love. I missed you since I've been away.
Yeah.
Is that all good?
Yeah, you know it. You got it. That's
there's some great Scorps in that out, and that's the same album, isn't it?
Yeah, Blackout. No, this is Blackout, 1982.
Blackout.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one with the forks in the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's the one with the forks in the eyes.
That's Klaus Meine and Rudy Schenker again, 1982 on the album Blackout, and we got two Scorpions in, and both of us guessed them. Boom, back to back.
Yes.
Wow, rolling.
All right.
All right, let's just quit now. Okay, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. See ya.
You should know the lyrics to "Well, All Right."
Oh yes, I do. I live in love with all my might. Well, all right. I'm trying to get back to the beginning of the song. Oh, I'm stuck on the chorus. I can't get back to the first verse.
The first verse starts with "Well,
Mentally.
All Right." Think of the Traffic version. You'll know that one better.
With all my might, well, just to be all right. I can't. just keep
Well, all
looping.
right, so I've been foolish. Well, all right, so we will.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
All the foolish dreams that you
If I sat here for 10 minutes, then everybody started crying out of boredom.
1956, originally Buddy Holly and the Crickets, off of Presenting Buddy Holly and the Crickets.
Now that I did not know.
Yes. You didn't know it was a Buddy Holly song?
I did not know that was a Buddy Holly song.
Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised at that. I thought you'd know that one. And obviously there's the cover by Santana. By Santana. I don't think Steely Dan ever did a cover that I'm aware of. By maybe East St. Louis Toodaloo was a cover.
Interesting.
So anyway, Santana, and then Traffic, as you're a big Traffic fan. I'm sure you know that one as well.
That's funny because the vocalist for Santana, very similar vocal style to Steve Winwood.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
That's
written by Holly, Malden, Allison, and Petty. I'm assuming that's the entirety of the Crickets.
Right.
And boy, what was with the Bug names in the 50s?
Never knew that was a
really
Buddy Holly song.
I'm very surprised. And it's actually one of his hits.
Right.
But I guess you don't really delve back into the 50s rock stuff too much, do you?
Not too much. I mean, I'm familiar with my share, I think, of the stuff, but only.
So on the way home,
having picked it up, not so much having gone back and researched.
On the way home, find that song and listen to it.
Yeah, I want to listen to the original.
It's very, it's the same general song, but it's a very, very different feel.
It's a very Buddy Holly's feel instead of Driving Rock, Santana.
Actually, the Traffic version is much closer to the Buddy Holly version.
Hollies. I can see that. I can see that.
All right, what do you got there, Chief?
That is a crack up. And the only thing I can hear over and over is the Carlos Santana solo riff that starts his solo over and over. It's round and round in my head. Okay,
and there's some really cool timbales that come in. Right there.
Yeah. Some really great stuff. By the way, that was not real timbales. You might have thought it was what I just did there, but it was not. It was just me.
Sure, just making those mouth noises.
You should know some lyrics to Play That Funky Music, White Boy.
I know every lyric to that song. Once there was a boogie singer playing in a rock and roll band, never had no problem laying down the one night stands.
Yeah.
I
had to do that just because it's fun. I knew it'd be a lay down, but
and by the way, I had that first Wild Cherry album.
Yeah.
That's a great. We say this about all of them.
Right.
That's a great album, and I love me some funk. And they really
did some good funk on there.
Yeah, and we're not talking disco kind of stuff. We're talking definite.
Right.
Heavy bass line, keyboard stuff going on. Very, very cool.
Yeah, there's more to it than the song
Parisi wrote that.
Bob Parisi did, right? Robert W. Parisi. I don't know if that's the same person.
Bob and I are old friends, so
first name basis. FNB for race here and Bob Parisi. Wild Cherry from 1976. Wild Cherry is the name of the album. Also,
I think I even had Wild Cherry 2.
Oh,
which was
you mean also?
No, I mean
or
2.
Number
it
2.
was called number 2. It was Wild Cherry 2.
I was making a joke.
I know you were, and I was passing it by.
It was one of my bad jokes.
Okay, I got, let's see here. I got one for you. You should know lyrics to Sandman by America.
Oh, yeah. He flies the sky like an eagle in the eye of a hurricane that's abandoned.
There you go. That'll qualify.
And I understand.
I was hoping that you were actually going to get Tin Man and Sandman confused in your head, and that the lyrics would overlay.
Right.
The lyrics would overlay.
And that I'd be
confused,
embarrassing myself once again.
Tend to do. That was written by Dewey Bunnell, as was so much of the early America. And R.I.P. Dewey Bunnell. I really dig some America, and I love his voice. And
you've talked about how you were into America pretty heavily.
Yeah. That was when I actually sat in my room with a guitar in my hands at one point and really, really tried to play.
Right.
I still never pulled it off, but that was when I was actually trying.
But you were into the thought of it, right?
Yeah. Sandman, America, 1971. So, big guy, what do you got?
You should, I think, know some lyrics to the song "Breakfast in America."
Could we have kippers for breakfast, mommy dear, mommy dear? They got to have them in Texas because everyone's a millionaire.
Right. You know it. So
I know more.
Nice.
But I'm not
we're on a little bit of a roll here.
Yeah, because we're making it easy.
Yeah,
That's
we're making
why.
these are. I don't know. Yeah, we are. I mean that. I didn't know if that would be much of a laydown for you. I don't know how into Supertramp you are or were.
I think the 6 or 7 big hits I know.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
that was certainly.
And there's a couple more. I could probably do the Long
way.
Way Home a little bit. There's several.
Right.
And I like Roger Hodson's voice. I really do.
Yeah, me too. Richard Davies, Roger Hodson wrote that. 1979, off of the album Breakfast in America, and you can pick it up at your local supermarket.
Breakfast in America.
Yes.
Well played. Okay, I think we got 2 more each. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds like what we're doing.
You should know a bunch of lyrics to Your Mama Don't Dance.
Oh, yeah.
But can you pull them up?
Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll.
Well, that doesn't count.
Out of the car, long hair.
That's your favorite line of the song,
That's my favorite line of the song. Should I get back to the start and just start
give
reciting?
us something more than just out of the car.
I give you Out of the Car, long hair. Pull into the back, climb into the back seat where you know it's nice and dark. That's right before the police come up and say Out of the Car, long hair.
Yeah.
I have to get back to the beginning of the song. I'm doing it again. I'm stuck on the chorus.
Yeah.
Mama don't dance, Daddy don't rock and roll. Even comes around, it's time to go to town where I'm just going to go with the chorus.
Okay, so
time to go to town where
you got it. I'm not going to spend any more time on it. All right. Kenny Loggins, Jim Messina, 1972, off the album Loggins and Messina, oddly enough. That was a good one there. I like that. And, that's a good time song. I really like anything with, like, a boogie piano kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That stuff.
It is a real boogie song.
I really kind of love that.
Right.
I could Faces and that stuff. I mean, there's a bunch of it. I could just do that. Right. I could literally listen to that kind of stuff all day.
Yeah, it's it's mood uplifting for sure.
All right,
tapping your toe and all that stuff. But that song has a little bit of a mixed memory for me. My mom loved that song and played it so much, so much that as a kid, which I was early teens at the time. What was the year of that?
71.
Yeah, I was
72. Sorry,
12, 13 years old. I was like, oh, if I have to hear this song again, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And she was like, turn it on. She had a record player and she had the LP, and she would just lift the needle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, whoo, come on, Mom. That's the way to get the kids out of the house.
There you go.
And then conversely, she would put on Robert Palmer's Sneakin' Sally Through the Alley.
And that got you back in the house.
Right. I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down for a while.
I got to say, if that's what Mom was listening to, I mean, certainly Loggins and Messina, I would have expected, but Robert Palmer's first album, that's pretty impressive, really.
Yeah.
Give Mom a pat on the back.
She wore that thing out. It was great.
All right, what do you got, man?
How about you have to, look what I've done. You have to give me some lyrics to The Joker by Steve
Miller. The Joker by Steve Miller.
Joker by Steve Miller.
Well, he made up a word.
Really?
Pompous. He speaks of the pompous
of love.
It's not a word.
You've researched that?
Yeah.
You've checked it out?
Absolutely. The pompous of love.
I always assumed. I mean, I never went and
researched. He's a picker and a
researched.
grinner and a joker and a smoker, midnight toker,
Right.
and so forth and so on.
Some people call him
Maurice. Because he speaks of the pompous of love.
Right.
Pompous is not a word. I could not find. Not only could I not find it, but I also found references to it not. Yes, to it not being. And I think he's just I just needed something that sounded important there.
Yeah.
You know.
And didn't you? I know I did think that it was rooted in pomposity and so on. And I assumed that it fit in, and I made sense of it in the lyrics. And it's not even a word.
It's not even hilarious.
A word. That's great. Okay.
All right, so this is my last one.
One more for you, and then we are...
Yeah. I got... and this is actually might be a little tricky because you're going to have to kind of find your way through the song. You should know the lyrics to Sweet Madam Blue by Styx.
Oh, yeah. Gaze in the looking glass, you're not a child anymore, Sweet Madam Blue. The future is all but past.
Time.
Right.
After time.
I sit and I wait for your call.
Yes, the very, very, very theatric Dennis DeYoung.
Very theatric. I do like that performance. You know what I mean?
It was a little bit over the top. Sailing away was to me.
Come sail away. Come sail
away. That one was oh man, come on. Could you go more AM than that?
Right.
But I was a big Styx fan. Back in the day.
The spooky piano sound in the background and all that, making it have that sound.
I mean, he definitely was a theater type guy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. His vocal performance to me fit in there in that particular song, but there were others plenty of them. He was
that's off of the Equinox album. That's the last album with John Kurlewski before Tommy Shaw joins them.
Right.
For Crystal Ball.
And Equinox. I mean, think of the songs on that album.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow, Lorelei and Light Up and just
it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, that album's really
that's off the previous album. That's off Styx 2. I'm sorry. I mean, and I had up until about Paradise, I had every album and I listened to all of them.
Right.
And the Paradise album I had was really cool. It was the first time I ever seen laser engraving on an album.
Right.
They had the marquee.
Sure.
From the Paradise Theater engraved on the
vinyl.
side 2 of the vinyl.
Huh.
But there was the label on side 2 was dark. There was no words on it. There were no words on
really?
it. Everything was on side 1.
Huh.
Yeah, it was a theater thing is what they were doing.
Right,
you know?
right.
But I think I still have that. And I've given almost all the vinyl to the kids. But I think I might have kept that one because it was so cool.
Right.
And I mean, it wasn't, we saw that more and more as like Bat Out of Hell actually had it all in color because in Paradise album, it was a line etching, not a color
Right, it
image.
wasn't an actual image. Right.
Anyway, cool shit, man.
Very nice.
Like I said, I listened to the fuck out of some Styx. I
did
I could
too,
probably
say.
for the first 4 albums, I don't know that I could come up with every lyric out of my head, but I could definitely sing along to every song and not miss a lyric.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So again, 1975, Dennis DeYoung wrote that. I believe that brings us to not only the end of the segment,
that's it,
but again to the end of an episode.
End of an episode.
Makes me want to cry.
We've gotten through it again. We made it through it. It makes you want to cry. It makes me feel relieved. I'm relieved. We did good on that.
Please don't relieve yourself in my house, okay?
Right.
It's not.
I'm relieving. We did good on Tune That Name.
Yeah, but we didn't do good on the other ones. It was a little rough on the beginning, and that's not. That's not the first episode that we've encountered that on. So.
Right. You got your good episodes. You got your rough episodes.
Yes.
Episodes for crying out loud.
The good ones are episodes. The bad ones are just episodes.
Well, okay, I'll go with that. I'll do that.
All right, so we have been MixedApez. You are MixedApez.
Yes. Are you MixedApez? The answer is
yes.
You're listening, right?
Yeah.
So you are.
And that's on the T-shirts. On the back is "Are you MixedApez" with the little QR code.
Yeah, right. Pretty cool. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Thanks for hanging in there. Hopefully you got something out of this to go check out, to dig up, to get into, to listen to.
Hopefully you got more of them than we did.
Yeah. Hopefully you're sending us your comments right now about how we shouldn't have missed this, or we forgot to say that, or
Absolutely.
whatever.
Yes,
or we
do.
didn't get this information
and
right.
again, you can reach. You can comment on the website. You can reach us on your podcast platform of choice by commenting there. And any input, output, downput, any of it.
Right, we're out here all alone. We're sitting by ourselves.
And
in
he
Races
really gets
Oasis.
very whiny and lonely when you guys don't respond.
We need to know that there's a world out there that cares about us.
He's
we're just a
always
couple of
looking for
apes.
us. He's looking for a hug.
So check out Wikipedia and donate to Wikipedia and all of the other. Thank you to all of the other places, the
on
people
the web
who have built all the places on the web who we are leaning on to resource and research and get our tidbits and our.
I mean, we know the lyrics, or ideally, when we're writing the clues, we know the lyrics, but we need to look up who wrote it and when it came out and what album it was on and who produced it and all that.
Yeah,
and that's largely where we go. I mean, Wikipedia is the first stop, and sometimes there are other places, and it's easy to get lost tracking that stuff down.
It really is.
But like that's where we're doing it. And by the way, I can't speak for Reed, but I personally am a contributor. $1. I get emails from them reminding me that I haven't paid them in a while.
Yeah, I contribute too.
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody's got to pay for it, and it keeps knowledge free as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. So. This has been You Should Know This Song, our commentary and challenge games and ADD, run-on show.
I'm just watching him try to keep talking while he's trying to wrap it up here, and it's pretty entertaining, actually.
And again, I'm Reed of Apes.
And I am Race of Apes. We are MixedApez, and we are out.
Peace.